people from all countries are coming to Romania to visit the historical places of the character that inspired Dracula novel, the Prince Vlad the Impaler. Why does Vlad still impress people? Vlad was cruel. He liked to punish people. And the most widespread punishment was death penalty. Vlad decided who deserved to live or to die. But cruelty, murders, killing, torture were widespread during the Middle Ages. Can we notice an evolution of humanity from Dracula's time from the Middle Ages to now? Who determines good and evil? Who determines who dies and who lives? God or people? Can people take God places? Can people kill their neighbors? From Dracula time to our days, did humanity become more just and compassionate? Although most nations have abolished capital punishment, over 60% of the world's population live in countries where executions take place, such as the United States, China, North Korea, Japan, and some Islamic states. The United States is the only Western country to still use the death penalty. According to Amnesty International, every day people are executed by the state as punishment for a variety of crimes, sometimes for acts that should not be criminalized. In some countries, it can be for who you sleep with. In others, it is reserved for acts of terror and murder. Some countries execute people who were under 80 years old when the crime was committed. In Iran, a 50-year-old boy and a 9-year-old girl can be tried as adults and therefore receive the death penalty. In August 2014, a United Nations report indicated that more than 116 juvenile offenders had been sentenced to death and were languishing on the death row, awaiting their set executions. It is believed that these minors were generally condemned to death following unfair trials whose proof of crimes were obtained to force confessions following unbelievable torture and mistreatment. Number of juvenile offenders executed between 1974 and 25, when the United States Supreme Court abolished the punishment, 22. Other countries use the death penalty against people who suffer mental problems. Before people die, they are often imprisoned for years on death row, not knowing when their time is up or whether they will see their families one last time. Capital punishment is the worst violation of human rights. Human rights activists oppose the death penalty, calling it cruel, inhuman, and degrading punishment. Amnesty International considers it to be the ultimate irreversible denial of human rights. Albert Camus wrote, "An execution is not simple death. It is just as different from the privation of life as a concentration camp is from prison. For there to be an equivalency, the death penalty would have to punish a criminal who had warned his victim of the date at which he would inflict a horrible death on him, and who, from that moment onward, had confined him at his mercy for months. Such a monster is not encountered in private life." I told you all these things because I want to ask you, have you become better than Dracula?